It's just such an interesting time right now, and it's a crazy time. And I've had a lot of different people asking the question of, okay, how are you handling this? What are you doing with your team? And what steps are you taking next? And what lessons are you learning? And all those different things. And honestly, um, I think the best advice I can give which is really trying to look in the mirror and give it to myself. Is really sitting there and saying, okay, we have to be vulnerable in these moments too, because I know when I got up and I got the news and I had to go tell my team that, the conference tournament wasn't going to happen and the NCAA tournament wasn't going to happen and everything was just coming to a halt immediately. Um, you kind of forget the seat that you're in. And, the number one question I got asked was, well, what'd you tell your team? I'm sure it was some kind of a life lesson. And it wasn't. And it was, I was speechless, and I was real and authentic and vulnerable and crying and every other just kind of emotion that you have. And I think that's really led us into what do you do now? There's been weeks that have passed, and I don't know about some of you, but I'm sitting in my home and I'm trying to homeschool my kids and trying to have a whole new appreciation of that, and still trying to do your job and still trying to keep your team together in this virtual world now that we live in. And I think you go back to the vulnerability and the authenticity of who we are as leaders, and we're each going to handle it in a different way, but we still have to be true to who we are and really value the people around us and understand that they're each going to really handle this in a different way. And I think right now the best thing that we can do is really get to know each other, basketball aside and any sport aside, any skill set aside. You have to take that time to really get to know yourself, and then really get to know the people that we're mentoring, and know these young people and understand these young people, because they're going to see it a little bit differently than how we do. And I think honestly the other thing is to really take the time to grieve, because I know it's a strong word, and there's things that have happened in our lives that are a lot more of an impact than maybe what this even has been. But you have to take the time for yourself to be able to grieve it, and also allow them and understand that they're each going to be different. So before you can take any steps forward, you do have to take that time. And what I've noticed in our team is, right away people are really motivated to do something, and then you kind of take a hit, and then you get really motivated to do something, and then you take your hit, and then it starts to get hard. And then now we're kind of all in this position of, okay, when is this light at the end of the tunnel? And when do I get to actually start to do something? And I think, again, it's a real natural, vulnerable process that we all are trying to do. And so I think the biggest things that we can do is really find ourselves, really find each other and value each other, take the time to grieve, and really find your why and what you're doing, why you're doing it, and really try to love that out and live it out.